What up, nerds? I'm Jared, and this is Changelog News for the week of Monday, November 24th, 2025. Turns out Gen Z has a weaker top password choice than every older generation except the 80-plus crowd. Don't get cocky, boomers, Gen Xers, and millennials. It's pretty rocky for us, too. According to a new report, the most commonly leaked Gen Z password is 12345, while the most commonly leaked password for the other age groups is 123456. This proves that you can be a winner and a loser at the same time. Okay, let's get into this week's news. What is a tech bubble anyway? Cedric Chin says, comparisons of our current AI maybe bubble to the dot-com bubble and the 2008 GFC are limiting. Quote, first, the 2008 crisis wasn't a technology bubble. Second, the dot-com bubble was idiosyncratic for a number of reasons, the biggest one being that going public has since become an order of magnitude more difficult. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the hottest AI companies today are all private companies, unavailable to the retail investor. That's different enough from 1999 that it should, I think, give you pause. End quote. Cedric also believes that calling this a bubble or not doesn't really matter. What really matters is, what should I do? And that, of course, depends on who you are and what you are trying to accomplish. But leaving the subjective aside, I'm linking up Cedric's post because he provides 5 bullet points that lay out a pattern that we can use to see what might come next. Unfortunately, each bullet point is too long to read here and not long enough to summarize in a useful way, so I'm not going to save you a click on this one. Find that link in the newsletter. The Cloudflare outage unwrapped. File this one under stories you most likely already know all about, but I'm telling you about anyways. Cloudflare CEO Matthew Prince posted an excellently transparent post-mortem of their significant failures to deliver core network traffic last week, which brought much of the internet to its knees and took our AI agents with it. The details are fascinating. Murphy's Law was in full effect that day. Quote, throwing us off and making us believe this might have been an attack was another apparent symptom we observed. Cloudflare's status page went down. The status page is hosted completely off Cloudflare's infrastructure with no dependencies on Cloudflare. While it turned out to be a coincidence, it led some of the team diagnosing the issue to believe that an attacker might be targeting both of our systems as well as our status page. End quote. The smoking gun at the end of this murder mystery was a single line of Rust code which executes a single method, unwrap. It just so happens that unwrap, which assumes an operation succeeded and extracts data from its inner value, is considered by many Rustaceans to be one of the language's few footguns. Cloudflare engineering shot themselves with it, and the internet felt the pain. A high-performance log viewer for humans. HL is a fast, powerful log viewer / processor that converts JSON and log-fumped logs into a clear, human-readable format before we do our own parsing and analysis. It has paging built in, can handle streaming logs, lets you filter by fields, log levels or timestamps, includes a follow mode, and more. This isn't the first log viewer for humans on the block, but it does stand out from the crowd in their provided benchmark. Comparing HL to alternatives on a 2.3 gigabyte log file, HL opened the 6 million line log in about 1.1 seconds compared to HlogF, which did it in 8.7 seconds, HumanLog clocking in at about 79 seconds, and FBlog, which took 34 seconds. It's now time for sponsored news. Give your GitHub Actions a serious speed boost. Your current GitHub Actions setup is doing the job, but it's also taking way longer than it should. Every time you push code, you're watching the spinner on 10+ minute builds. Not fun. Namespace flips the script by giving you infrastructure designed from the ground up for fast builds. All you have to do is point your existing workflows at Namespace runners instead of the default GitHub hosted runners, and instantly those 10+ minute builds drop to minutes. Behind the scenes, Namespace is handling incremental caching, parallel execution of independent jobs, and optimized Docker layer caching. The cost difference is also dramatic. Namespace's model gives you predictable pricing, and they're built for teams that ship constantly. Instead of watching spinners, they're shipping features. Head to namespace.so, stop watching spinners, get faster builds, and get more of your time back for real work. Once again, that's namespace.so. Continuum 93. This is kind of insane. Quote, Continuum 93 is an emulator of a classic retro computer that never existed before and is designed for retro games programming in native assembly code. End quote. Yes, I read that correctly. This is a fantasy computer emulator, which means it is emulating a computer that never was, but certainly could have been, and perhaps should have been, but again, it was not. But now it is, and my head hurts. Continuum 93 was recently open sourced, runs on Windows, Mac, Linux, all 64-bit Raspberry Pis, and Steam Deck. It's also created by a guy whose online handle is Enthusiast Guy, which is so apropos, my headache went away. Things that aren't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. You already know that. I already know that. But sometimes we need a reminder, don't we? Well, here's your reminder. Quote, making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. And fantasizing about all the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. End quote. You get the point. But if you want to drill it in your head by reading even more things that aren't the thing, click through. Or stop listening to Changelog News and just go do the thing. Changelog News Classifieds. This is our new segment, creating opportunity to share your startup, passion project, opinion, big idea, upcoming event, etc. with your fellow 25,000 plus readers and 30,000 plus listeners. Feedback is welcome. Here's this week's Classifieds. Shareable Claude Code sessions at aviator.co. Style Frame. Type safe composable CSS at styleframe.dev. AI requirement software that just works. Battle proven at Storywise. That's storywi.se. And Excalibur, your friendly TypeScript 2D game engine for the web at excaliburjs.com. All those links are in your newsletter, including an additional link that you can use to book your own classified ad. That's the news for now, but go and subscribe to the Changelog newsletter for the full scoop of links worth clicking on, such as building a simple search engine that actually works, 300 plus NPM packages and 27,000 plus repos have been infected via a fake bun runtime, and Android can now airdrop to iPhones. Get in on the newsletter at changelog.news. Last week on the pod, Spencer Chang from the Alive Internet Theory and Internet Sculptures joined me for an interview. And Practical AI's Chris Benson was on Changelog and Friends explaining to us what is and what is not a swarm. Find those in your feed and stay tuned because we have some great episodes coming up this week. On Wednesday, we are joined by Bill Butler, a real-life Wikipedia expert, to figuratively gaze upon the eighth wonder of the world. And on Friday, our old friend Lars Wickman joins us from the west coast of Sweden. Have yourself a great week. Like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review if you dig the show. And I'll talk to you again real soon.